Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we are going to be making a jerry can mount. That way I can mount that gas can to the back of the Blazer. Basically, I was looking into getting a jerry can mount, and I don't know if you guys have looked these days, but they're expensive. I paid like 20 bucks for this can. If you want to buy a mount for it, it's like 60, and they look like crap. So I've got a little bit of steel picked up from the steel yard. So for a fraction of the cost, we're going to make our own. All right, so I picked up. I've got about a 10-foot section of inch-by-inch angle iron, 1/8 inch thick, and some 1/8 inch by 1 inch flat bar. Picked this up from the steel yard as seconds, so I paid a little less than $1 a pound for it. So I think I'm probably going to be into this project about 20 bucks. So doing pretty well there. Basically what the plan is going to be to take the angle iron, kind of wrap it around the bottom like this, then run some small bits on the inside that are going to go up like this, and then up on the other side, probably about to the top. And then I'm going to take some flat bar and run it across the top of that right there. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do is make some measurements and start cutting. So the base of this guy is, well, it's almost perfectly metric. It's 35 centimeters by little over 17 centimeters. Or if we want to talk in North America, it is 6 3/4 by about 13 3/4. So what that means is I'm going to cut, well, 2 bits to 6 3/4 and 2 bits to 13 3/4, with and that's going to be to the outside of a mitered edge. Inside will be that minus 2. Anywho, I'm going to measure that up and cut it on the bandsaw. Alright, so this is going to be a little inefficient, but I'm going to start by just cutting the 13 3/4 bit, and then we'll miter the edges later. So, leave my mark. Double check. 13 So these are going to be my 2 long ones. Now I'm going to go cut the short ones. And while I'm at it, I'm going to cut the vertical bits. I need 2 14-inch sections and 2 18-inch sections. Just mitered to those corners real quick. Did that off camera. Basically, I just drew a rough line with the square and then just kind of did it freehand for all the corners. And I've got kind of a little quick jig set up with the table. Just a couple stops kind of stuck in place. that I can kind of hold in place. And I already checked with this all together, and it does fit the jerry can totally fine. So I'm going to get to tacking on this guy. Okay, now that we're tacked, flip it. We're a little bit wonky. See if the tack on the top will help. That's pretty good. So now I'm going to go from the bottom side and finish weld this, and then we'll look for the uprights. Alright, that is the base done. I'm going to leave the top side pretty flush because I don't want it to, I'm going to leave the top side flush because I don't want any weird bumps that the jerry can will sit on. So this is pretty good. It's relatively square. So now, next step up is going to be the uprights. So those are going to go in there, like so. I'm just going to hold it and kind of do this by eye, tack it in place, and then check on the can. Alrighty then, so you guys can get kind of a sense of what I'm going for with this. I'll take this guy and that's sitting in very nicely. So I'm going to leave all of those exactly where they are. And put a couple more tacks, and then I can finish weld. Okay, some of those weren't the best, but they're all together. So, it's still pretty much parallel with itself. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So now we've got to cut this flat bar into some strips, and that's going to go right on the outside like so, and then I'm going to do the second one up here to tie that together. Okay, just like before, we had to cut them to 13 3/4 and 6 3/4. I've got 2 of those guys, and then now also I have 3 of the others, so that I have one there, there, and back here. So, it's a little bit, that's gotten a little bit wonky, but not too bad. Actually, we're within like a 16th, that's pretty good. I'm going to still probably try to flush that up a little bit better, but yeah. Yeah. That was all weird. Anywho. The next one. Gonna definitely need a glove for this because I'm going to spread that. I'm going to finish up these welds, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the project. Alright, there we go. All welded up. Jerry can mounted in for, just to confirm it does fit. Let's see. Though, the next issue is going to be how do we keep it from flopping out of there. Obviously, it's a pretty tight fit, and the walls are pretty high, so I'd have to be hitting a pretty big rock for it to jump out on the back of the truck. But I do want to have it secure because it will do a bunch of rattles. So I bent up these little tabs right here, just a little bit of my scrap flat bar. What we're going to do is we're going to weld it right there on both sides, and then I'm going to use a cinch strap, probably a chintzy little one from Harbor Freight, wrap it all the way around, and then I can just tighten it down, and that'll keep it from moving. If you're concerned about someone stealing it, you could make some sort of little hingey mechanism. I've seen ones with like a hinge up here with a strap and a little lock. I might consider that. A more elegant solution might actually just be something as simple as a piece of flat bar that just comes over to about here or so. That will keep you from lifting it up, and you can basically tie it in over there and put a little padlock on it if you wanted. But I'm not too concerned right now, so I'm going to just deal with the straps. So as far as that goes, let's kind of mark where we want them. Obviously we want it to pass through the middle, so that's going to put it right about there, which I think is the dead middle of the situation. Let's just confirm. From there to there I've got about 5.5 inches, and there I've got 5 inches. Let's just do it 5 inches from the back corner. Or actually, yeah, we'll do it 5 inches from the back is where we're going to put that face. and then we can wrap this guy up. Alrighty then. That's it, done. Pretty much ready to go. Just got to mount it to the truck. But I think we're going to save that for next time. Alright, so I do have the jerry can mounted. I ended up making a little extra kind of bracket to go off the bottom. And so we've got a bolt on the inside right there. Well, 2 bolts on the inside right there. Then I've got a bolt right here. And then I have a long brace of angle iron up there. So this is super secure. That is not moving anywhere. Give it a few whacks. If I move this, I move the whole bumper and spare tire. So I am pretty confident that that will hold. Sorry I didn't really show you what I was doing, but for this guy, it was a lot of on-the-fly kind of fabrication, figuring stuff out, hoping that it works. And nothing on this bumper is, something off the shelf, so everything's going to be custom, so no matter what, whatever I build here isn't going to directly apply to anything you guys would do. But it does kind of give you the general vibe on how to do it. Other thing to note, we've got that strap right there going through those loops that I made, just going around the bottom, and that is going to keep that jerry can from falling out. I'm so backlit. So that's going to be it for today. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Alrighty then.